Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Anti-Japanese War. Starting 98k, killing and overturning Cangyun Ridge, Lin Feng traveled through the world of Liangjian and became an ordinary commoner on the Cangyun Ridge. Activate the God level selection system, start with a 98k. Transforming into a ghost, wandering on the Cangyun Ridge. Harvesting, the lives of one enemy after another. One person, 198k, kill and overturn Cangyun Ridge. Make the enemy tremble with fear. Boost the morale of the 8th Route Army. Yunlong. Is this kid a ghost? How could he appear and disappear? Sakata Nobutaka. I didn't expect there to be such a skilled sniper on 8th Route. I died unjustly. Chu Yunfei. After 3 days, let's take a fresh look. With Lin Feng around, Brother Yunlong will surely kill everyone in all directions. Captain Chen. Yunlong, I heard that you have a ghost killer under your command. How about lending him to me for use? Yamamoto. Encountering Ghost Sniper Lin Feng, I am willing to bow down and stop talking. Lin Feng. This has just begun. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Sword World, Special Forces King arrives. You are listening at novelfull.audio. My fellow villager, wake up quickly. Hometown, hometown. An urgent and worried voice rang in my ears. Lin Feng slowly opened his heavy eyes. What caught the eye was a face full of blood stains, mixed with dust, slightly immature, and full of anxious expressions. A murky face, old military caps and that slightly familiar outfit. Lin Feng was startled in his heart, and 2 words that could only be seen on TV flashed before his eyes. 8 routes. Where have I come from? Is it a set for filming anti-Japanese war dramas? But didn't I get shot and die? Lin Feng, a later military king, went on a mission but unfortunately died. But when I opened my eyes, I actually came here. Boom. However, just as he was uncertain in his heart, he felt a sudden pain in his mind. Immediately after, countless memories flooded his mind. Immediately, Lin Feng widened his eyes and showed a look of disbelief. I have actually traveled through time. Moreover, I have also come to the world of swords. And here. Cangyun Ridge. His body is exactly the ordinary people who helped the 8th Route Army, 386th Brigade, and new 1st Regiment transport supplies. Because he was shocked to death by the afterglow of the shell, it was only then that he was given a discount as a traveler. Lin Feng instinctively looked around. Yellow sand fills the sky, blood and flesh fly everywhere. And a familiar smell of gunpowder. Beside him lay the corpses of the 8th Route Army soldiers, common people, and Japanese soldiers in all directions. A little further away. It is a trench, with hundreds of soldiers currently aiming at the enemy charging from the opposite side, shooting wildly. One of the men, who was 7 feet tall and had a dark appearance, looked extremely familiar. This. Yunlong. Lin Feng's eyes froze. Instantly recognized the identity of this man. Although he is a Special Forces king, he has a special fondness for this shining sword. I don't know how many times I've watched it. I have a very clear impression of Yunlong's appearance. This scene tells him that he has truly traveled and arrived in the world of shining swords. Cangyun Ridge is the place where Shinichi Regiment and Sakata United engage in a fierce battle. At the same time, it was also the place where Yunlong broke through head-on and defeated Captain Sakata, making him famous in World War I. Of course, it is precisely because of this. Yunlong disobeyed the orders of the commander-in-chief of the 8th Route Army and was only promoted to the position of regimental commander, becoming the director of the bedding factory. A familiar place. A familiar figure. Familiar plot. In a daze, Lin Feng seemed to have returned to the difficult period of the anti-Japanese war. Unexpectedly, Lin Feng's face showed a complex expression of surprise, shock, and emotion. "Great, fellow villager, you finally woke up." Seeing Lin Feng wake up, the soldier immediately showed a look of joy. "Are you okay, fellow villager?" Lin Feng shook his head and said he was fine. "If it's okay, then I won't waste any time. If you hide here for a while, I'm going to kill the enemy." Seeing that Lin Feng was fine, the soldier immediately calmed down and, holding the old sleeve next to him, approached the trench with a cat on his waist. Seeing such a scene, Lin Feng quickly got up and planned to follow over. He has already died once, so naturally he doesn't want to die again. Lying still in place, he couldn't predict when another shell would come and he would have finished playing. At the same time, he also wants to see where he is currently in Cangyun Ridge. When was the battle going, and how long was it before Li Yunlong broke through from the front? To be honest, he does not agree with Li Yunlong's direct breakthrough and demotion punishment. After all, the situation on the battlefield is constantly changing. As a successful commander, one should adapt to the situation. So, he believes that old Li is not wrong. Of course, it is wrong for soldiers to disobey orders. It is also appropriate to be punished. This is understandable. However, with this movement, he immediately felt powerless all over, his footsteps were floating, and a cold sweat was rising from his forehead. Too weak. Until now, he realized that the body he had traveled through was so weak. He is far from the steel and iron bones he has trained in his past life, as well as his strong physical body. Upon careful consideration, I was relieved. During this period, the common people were living a life of turmoil and uncertainty, and it would be great if they could live without tomorrow. This body, although young, has long been weak due to prolonged periods of insufficient food and clothing. It seems that there is still a long way to go to establish a foothold in this world. Lin Feng's face flashed with bitterness. But still dragging heavy steps, stumbled and arrived at the trench. Slightly exposing his head, a pair of cloudy eyes, revealing his sharpness, he looked out cautiously. After a while, he roughly understood the current situation. Li Yunlong should have discovered the location of the Sakata Joint Command headquarters. Because the effective range of the mortar cannot be reached at all. So, at this moment, Li Yunlong is about to lead the team forward by 500 meters. Covering Wang Chengzhu, he used the remaining 2 shells to intercept the headquarters of the Sakata Squadron. However, in Lin Feng's eyes, at this moment, the Japanese artillery fire is really too fierce. The new regiment's several charges were all suppressed. Looking around, on the vast battlefield. Blood and flesh flying everywhere, blood flowing into a river, it's unbearable. It can be imagined that such a battle is completely a 500-meter blood path paved with flesh and blood. Very tragic. This little devil is really too cruel. The soldiers rushed forward and were shot before they could even stand firm. Upon seeing this scene, Lin Feng's face immediately showed anger, gritting his teeth and harboring a strong hatred. Before the barrage of gunfire and bullets, Lin Feng's eyes turned red, and he wished he could rush out of the trench and kill all the devils who were inferior to these beasts. Although he has now traveled through time and become an ordinary citizen in Liangjian, his fighting spirit has not changed in his bones. Seeing the fierce battle before us. In the depths of Lin Feng's soul, the hidden war spirit was ignited, and his whole body was filled with vitality and blood. In an instant, the war spirit rose up. Those who offend me, China, will be executed even if they are far away. Drip. Detected that the host is facing an important choice, the divine level selection system is officially launched. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Grab the credit of Wang Chengzhu and reward beginners with great rewards. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Drip. Detected that the host is facing an important choice, the divine level selection system is officially launched. Successfully bound to the world, shining the sword. Please make the right choice for the host, option 1. Hide in the trench, wait for the battle to end, and you can escape your life. Reward a bag of high-quality rice. Option 2. Join the independent group responsible for mass transfer, avoid the big battle in front of you, and reward 1 AK-47 assault rifle. Option 3. Kill the captain of Sakata United with your own hands, end the battle of Cangyun Ridge, snatch the credit of Wang Chengzhu, and reward the newbie with a big gift pack. Just as Lin Feng was angry in his heart and his eyes were shining brightly. A mechanical, hoarse voice suddenly rang out in my mind. Gold finger. The traveler indeed has a golden finger to distribute. As a novel enthusiast, Lin Feng naturally knows. What does a golden finger mean to a traveler? Soar into the sky. It's not an exaggeration to describe it with these 4 words. With this divine level selection system, Lin Feng believes that he can unleash his divine power in the world of Liangjian. After quickly suppressing the excitement in his heart, Lin Feng turned his gaze to the 3 choices in front of him. The first choice is directly filtered out by him. Don't say he has a system, even if he doesn't, he plans to join the battle. As the saying goes, those who offend me in China will be executed even if they are far away. The second option looks good too. After all, the independent regiment led by Kong Jie is now responsible for the transfer of the rear masses. However, Kong Jie's fighting consciousness is somewhat outdated. Not knowing how to adapt to circumstances, the overall response of the army is slow, which does not match his personality. However, this reward for the AK-47 assault rifle caught Lin Feng's eye. This weapon was highly praised in later generations for its powerful performance. If placed during the anti-Japanese war, it would be the most lethal weapon. He once used this gun to wreak havoc in all directions, invincible and causing heavy casualties to the enemy. However, although the reward is good, it is not Lin Feng's choice. So, with just a slight glance, Lin Feng shifted his gaze to the third choice. Taking credit for Wang Chengzhu, he killed Captain Sakata in advance and ended the battle at Cangyunling. In this way, it will definitely reduce the casualties of the troops, and during the breakout, it can also be faster and leave a living force behind. At the same time, Wang Chengzhu would not be too excited and shot to death by a random gun just because he killed Captain Sakata with 1 shot. The most important thing is that in this way, he can enter Li Yunlong's sight. Although Li Yunlong will become the leader of the independent team in the future. Following the plot, he only took Zhang Dabiao away. However, if he can leave a deep impression in his heart, even if it is important, I believe he can definitely follow behind Li Yunlong. All along, he admires the character of Li Yunlong immensely. Li Yunlong has never had any rules in his work. During the anti-Japanese war, his sole purpose was to kill the Japanese, seize supplies, and arm himself. In dealing with war, we have always been flexible and adaptable, always able to find the method with the least casualties and the greatest profits based on the battlefield situation, and eliminate the enemy. This kind of combat style that only focuses on practical results and does not adhere to conventional rules is very appealing to Lin Feng. So, after weighing things up, Lin Feng decided to personally take out Sakata Nobutaka, attract the attention of Li Yunlong, and gain reuse. For myself, as a future military king, although my weapons and equipment are much inferior, it is only a slight inconvenience and not a big problem. Even the Clich A.D. Hanyang craftsmen cannot stop their determination to shoot Sakata Nobutaka. So, I have chosen the third one in the system. Congratulations to the host for making the most correct choice at the moment. Novice Gift Pack Distribution. Congratulations to the host for obtaining primary physical enhancement. From then on, the host's body will be twice as strong as an ordinary human body. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the intermediate sniper skill, which has been fully instilled. Please understand it yourself. Congratulations to the host for obtaining one Mauser 98K sniper rifle, with 10,000 bullets included. Congratulations to the host. From now on, you have reached the full level of sensitivity, and you will always maintain your sensitivity at all times. You can detect danger twice as long as an ordinary person. The system prompt sounds continuously. Before Lin Feng could even check, he felt warm all over and instantly filled with strength. At the same time, he also swept away his previously dull and powerless appearance, his whole body filled with terrifying and inexhaustible energy. His blood was boiling, making him want to rush out of the trench and fight alongside the little devils. At the same time, he clearly felt that his perception of danger had increased several times. Both visual and auditory senses cannot be compared. That feeling was something he had never had in his previous life. At the same time, he also had many unfamiliar but extremely familiar information in his mind. Quickly, when Lin Feng digested those messages, a confident smile couldn't help but appear on his face. That's all the insights about intermediate sniper skills. Intermediate sniper skill, using a sniper rifle to shoot without missing bullets within a kilometer, and using a regular rifle to shoot at targets with precision within 500 meters. Because it is a system reward, he does not need to learn or comprehend on his own, and can directly integrate. Quickly, he mastered this intermediate sniper skill. In the system space, there is a 98K sniper rifle lying quietly. And superhuman perception, strong physical fitness. Lin Feng believed that he could definitely eliminate the Sakata team. Looking at the Sakata Joint Command Post a kilometer away, Lin Feng quietly took out his sniper rifle. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. It was that brother who did it. It's really not bad. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Command Headquarters of the 358th Regiment of the Jin Sui Army. Tuanzuan, our allies' losses this time are probably not small. They were unlucky to meet the elite of the Japanese, Sakata United. Deputy Sun Ming said seriously. Sakata United. What a narrow enemy road. He's an old rival of our team. Chu Yunfei was somewhat surprised, but at the same time, he had a bad feeling that the 8th route across from him was almost finished. Well, Sakata is a cunning old devil. During the Battle of Shinko, the Sakata Squadron managed to defeat 2 divisions of the Central Army. I remember last time our regiment fought against him in the wilderness, and in just 1 hour, we lost 1/10 of our troops. Now, this 8th Route Army has been besieged by the Sakata Regiment, and it is almost impossible to break through. It can be said that this 8th Route Army should be finished. Sun Ming said somewhat reluctantly. But even if we want to help these 8 paths, it's impossible. The chairman has explained that we are only nominal allies with the 8th Route Army, and sooner or later the 8th Route Army will be destroyed. So, it may be difficult to help the 8th Route Army with firepower. I don't know that. Chu Yunfei's expression was somewhat melancholic. Chu Yunfei knew that if he continued to consume like this, what would ultimately be harmed was still the interests of the country, and what would be lost was still the national defense strength. However, soon his expression became solemn. Alright, war. It's normal for the dead to die. Notify the front line observation post and keep an eye on the enemy's movements at all times. Yes. Report to the team leader, the brigade leader is calling. At the same time, the Sakata Joint Command Post. The deputy is reporting the command from the headquarters to Sakata. Order your troops to quickly eliminate the enemy in front of them and occupy the main peak position of Cangyun Ridge. Sakata Nobutaka spared no effort in executing the orders of the headquarters. However, after the adjutant gave the order, the old devil showed a surprised expression. He glanced at his deputy and said with a puzzled expression. Do you know which unit of the 8th Route Army is on the opposite side? We have been attacking for so long, and it's unbelievable that we haven't taken it down. The deputy felt very regretful about the captain's question. Because until now, they have not captured any prisoners, so naturally they do not know who their opponents are. Sakata Nobutaka was even more surprised by this. He exclaimed with emotion. This 8th Route Army is very skilled in deploying troops, and I'm sure the commander of this 8th Route Army must be an experienced veteran with extremely advanced combat experience. His trenches, his combat power batch configuration, and so on are all on par with me. Especially, in a very short amount of time, a complex terrain front position can be turned into a minefield. It's unbelievable. The deputy also showed interest in the admiration of the team captain. You go inform the troops, if possible, we must capture this person alive. I want to see who he is. Ha-ee. At this moment, the battlefield is silent. Except for occasional crackling sounds from charred corpses, there was no sound left. Both the enemy and ourselves are brewing a new round of attacks. Everyone is accumulating momentum, and when their strength reaches a certain level, it will be a grand and brutal battle. Cangyun Ridge, on the main peak position. Yunlong slowly put down his binoculars, and a flash of brilliance flashed through his eyes. Zhang Dabiao. Arrive. A battalion commander, Zhang Dabiao, came running over with a machete on his back. Zhang Dabiao, are the assault teams ready? Yunlong asked while observing the enemy on the opposite side. The voice is calm, majestic, and exudes the aura of a great general. It's already ready. Brothers, hold their breath and vow to cut off the head of that old boy Sakata and drink for you. If we only talk about firearms, we are not as good as the little devils, but if we talk about fighting, we are the ancestors of the little devils. We need to let the little devils know that to be a grandson, one must have the consciousness to be a grandson. Zhang Dabiao spoke with righteousness and righteousness. Zhang Dabiao's words infected the people in the trench, and he immediately howled and shot desperately, using his maximum ability to kill the enemy. Well, these words may sound uplifting, but they are all my soldiers. I feel sorry for them, old Li. As a commander, how could Yunlong not know the severity of this battle? Looking at the fallen soldiers in front of him, Yunlong felt very uncomfortable. However, since he has decided to break through head-on, he will not change his command. In that case, sacrifice is inevitable. Immediately gritted his teeth and shouted loudly. Put on all the bayonets, put on the old man, kill the little devils. They all have two shoulders, carrying one head, who's afraid of who? I once said, when we meet on a narrow path, the brave win. Brothers, kill me. Kill, kill, kill. Go ahead. Kill the devil. In just an instant, the assault team rushed out of the trench and charged towards the small Japanese camp on the opposite side. In an instant. On the Cangyun Ridge, the cries of killing echoed loudly. Amidst the rain of gunfire and bullets, the new regiment began a counterattack against the Sakata United. This scene immediately filled Sakata Nobutaka across from him with thick doubts. You should know. Now I am charging myself. The 8th Route Army is the defending side, so theoretically they shouldn't be so reckless. This is a military taboo. I don't understand. However, he was not idle and immediately commanded the troops to confront the enemy. However, just as they rushed out of the trench, within 50 meters, a dense gunfire rang out. Just in an instant, numerous soldiers collapsed in the pool of blood. Seeing this, Yunlong's eyes instantly turned red. Suddenly, his eyes were about to crack, his throat wriggled, and he let out a low roar like a wild beast. Lie down. Captain, the devil's machine guns. Suppressed behind a hillside, Zhang Dabiao said with a look of unwillingness. Looking at the machine gun spewing flames from afar, Li Yunlong suddenly became anxious. Pointing at the gunman with red eyes, he shouted. Zhang Dabiao, get rid of that machine gunner for me. Yes, Captain, just take a look. Zhang Dabiao picked up an explosive bag from the side and was about to go ahead and blow up the gunman at any cost. However, at this moment, Zhang Dabiao was stunned. At the moment when he looked up, he saw that the machine gunner was unexpectedly hit by bullets flying from somewhere, and his head exploded. One shot to death. Captain, the gunner is dead. Zhang Dabiao showed an incredulous expression. He always felt that the guy who shot the gunman was extraordinary. Li Yunlong was momentarily stunned. But without much thought, the first one flew out of the trench. Command the soldiers to continue charging forward. However, for the next meal, Li Yunlong was shocked to discover where the assault team passed by, machine gunners and Japanese officers were all shot in the head. Li Yunlong finally realized something was wrong. That brother did it, it's not bad. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Niang, is he a sharpshooter? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Report to the team leader that our soldiers have suffered severe injuries in the past half hour. But strangely enough, they were all shot in the head. I suspect that there are snipers in the 8th Route Army. Sakata Nobutaka, who was observing the situation on the battlefield, was stunned when he heard the deputy's words. However, he quickly said disdainfully. Sniper. Are you telling a joke? Do they seem like troops with sniper rifles based solely on his size as a member of the 8th Route Army? It would be great for such a backward army to have a few useless grass spears. Sakata Nobutaka does not believe this. Even the regular army of the Kuomintang has almost no snipers. Not to mention the small 8th Route. Only the Imperial Army has the ability to cultivate the most outstanding snipers. Bang! But at this moment, in Sakata Nobuyoshi's telescope, one of his team leaders instantly shot out a blood flower on his forehead. Ba ga! Does the 8th Route Army really have snipers? Witnessing Imperial soldiers being shot in the head with his own eyes, even the calm and imposing Sakata Nobutaka couldn't help but show a fierce expression. Someone, find him for me. I will break him down in 8 pieces and avenge the soldiers of my empire. At the same time, Li Yunlong, who was over 1,000 meters away, was also attracted by the successive occurrences. A shot to the head. Who is this? Why is the marksmanship so accurate? Did Li Yunlong encounter the sharpshooter? Li Yunlong's eyes lit up and his face was filled with excitement. I have never seen such precise marksmanship in the military for over a decade. Bang! Captain, look. Another Japanese officer has his head blown out. Zhang Dabiao exclaimed beside him. Captain, I found him. It's 300 meters ahead of us on the left. At this moment, the 2nd Battalion commander suddenly shouted. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong quickly picked up his telescope and looked in that direction. A black shadow fell into his eyes. In the grass. Lin Feng is like a ghost, hidden within it. Standing in front of him is a 98k sniper rifle. His face was incredibly calm. Although he has been a person for 2 generations, the moment he touched the gun, my whole body was boiling with passion, and I instantly entered a state. When he saw the machine gunner blocking Li Yunlong's advance from the scope of the 98 sniper, he decisively pulled the trigger. Lin Feng, who possesses intermediate sniper skills, even though he has been a person for 2 generations and is facing a real battlefield for the first time, he has no unnecessary emotions. The entire process, from targeting the target and then pulling the trigger, flows smoothly without any pause. After sniping the first enemy, Lin Feng quickly changed his position using his previous experience as a Special Forces soldier. During this process, he fired one shot after another without fail. Not only did they eliminate 2 machine gunners, but also 2 Japanese officers. It can be said that I have gained a lot. At the same time, the aura of the War King hidden deep in the soul was gradually stimulated. As he kept pulling the trigger, a sharp aura gradually emanated from him. Like a hungry wolf, hunting prey in the eyes of the tiger. The whole person was instantly filled with a bloodthirsty and murderous aura. Unfortunately, Lin Feng is located over 2,000 meters away from Sakata United, which is a considerable distance. The effective range of the 98K sniper rifle is only 1,200 meters. At such a distance, even the world's top snipers, combined with the most advanced sniper rifles, cannot attack with such ease. So, he needs to approach the Sakata Joint Command Post. Strive to kill with one blow. And he can't waste time yet. Because he still doesn't know Li Yunlong's true thoughts. It was using Wang Chengzhu's mortar to run all the way to He and smash Sakata's command post. I have already discovered his deadly attack point against the devils. Before uncertainty arises, he must approach Sakata command post as soon as possible and take down the enemy with one shot. He understood very well that even if Sakata died, Li Yunlong's army still had no real security. The troops here are only a part of the Sakata squadron. There is also another group of devils, forming formations on the periphery, waiting for them. So, seize the time to successfully break through. Bang! In the scope. One shot exploded after a Japanese machine gunner. Lin Feng, like a ghost, rushed out of the grass and lightning into a pile of rocks several tens of meters away. From leaping out to jumping into the chaotic pile of stones. The whole action was smooth, completed in one go. Damn it, is he a sharpshooter? Also, what gun is he using? Is he a sharpshooter? The speed is lightning fast. Seeing Li Yunlong grinning and staring, he immediately burst into profanity. Even as he watched, his saliva stayed behind. Lin Feng's skill and agile movements excited Li Yunlong immensely. If Lin Feng can join his new team, I believe that the combat effectiveness of the new regiment will be enhanced by one or even several levels. Even in the face of several times and a new group of devils, he can successfully break through and even eliminate them. He can tell. Lin Feng is wearing clothes from ordinary people and does not belong to any military unit. Report to the team leader, that sharpshooter is the fellow villager who helped us transport supplies. At this moment, a soldier with a bright red face reported excitedly. The soldier's face was full of excitement. But deep down, I am filled with doubts. When the fellow villager was injured just now, he didn't have that strange gun on him, did he? Is that fellow villager hiding deep and undisclosed? So he's a fellow villager, isn't he? Kid, you belong to me, Li Yunlong. I can't run away. Li Yunlong's face suddenly showed an excited expression. Immediately wave the machete and shout loudly. Brothers, it's really a godsend to help me form a new team, charge. Kill, kill, kill. Go ahead. With the command of Li Yunlong, the suppressed soldiers of the 8th Route Army suddenly erupted into a grand momentum and rushed towards the command post of the Sakata Brigade. However, Lin Feng's outstanding performance also caught Sakata's attention. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. 485th. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Report to the team leader, that guy is elusive and elusive. We haven't found any trace of him, and many Imperial soldiers have died. Sakata Nobutaka's deputy reported with a worried expression on his face. Ba ga. Sakata Nobuyasu had a gloomy expression on his face. In fact, Sakata Nobutaka stood tall and watched the scene of Imperial soldiers shooting their heads with one shot, vividly. I empathize with you. The ghostly sniper shocked him quite a bit. What is the 8th Route Army? That's a poor army without guns, without ammunition. What combat skills can a group of mud-legged soldiers possess? On the other hand, the Imperial army was strong and well armed. In addition, every Imperial soldier possesses good combat skills, and even individual combat abilities are strong. Prior to this, he had asserted that the Imperial army would be invincible, taking over the headquarters of the 8th Route would be as easy as a palm. Even if encountering some difficulties, they can be easily resolved. Even if the wolf swallows the northwest, it is still an extremely simple thing. His 4th team will be recorded in the history of the Empire and admired by thousands of people. But now, it has been defeated by a sniper. Just now, he made a preliminary estimate. The number of Imperial soldiers who were shot in the head has reached over 100 terrifying people. More than 100 elite Imperial soldiers were inexplicably bombed and killed, which made this colonel quite headache-stricken. Bang! At this moment, a special gunshot echoed faintly in my ear. It once again caught the attention of Sakata Nobutaka. In the telescope, another team leader's head was blown out. Ba ga! Quickly find him for me, I'm going to tear him apart. Report to the team leader, the latest news from the frontier observation post. At this moment, Sun Ming, the deputy officer of the Jin Sui army, rushed in with a strong shock and came to Chu Yunfei's eyes. Captain, according to the front line observation post, they discovered a sharpshooter appearing in the 8th Route Army team. The sharpshooter. Chu Yunfei was quite surprised, but he didn't pay too much attention and asked softly. How many devils did he kill that surprised you so much? He can't shoot his head with a gun, can he? In his view, only legendary snipers have this ability. Not to mention the 8th Route, even within the Nationalist Army, we can't find a single one. However, it is rumored that one member of the National Army has already been selected for the Lighthouse Sniper Training Camp. It is said that in that training camp, countless precision shooting soldiers gathered, and once trained, they were all first-class snipers. Snipers are all first-class sharpshooters, not something that Tuba Road can possess. So, in his first impression, Chu Yunfei felt that he must be a frontier observation post, lying about military information. Captain, you guessed so accurately. That ghostly sharpshooter is really like a bullet in the head. So far, he has shot and killed more than 200 devils. Even the captain of the Devil's squad was basically named and shot one by one. Under the protection of this sharpshooter, the 8th Route Army has a strong tendency to break through from the front. As Sun Ming's deputy spoke, there was also a strong sense of shock emerging. As an adjutant, his marksmanship is also excellent, not to mention hitting 100 shots, but it is also reasonable. But compared to the sharpshooter, it's just a sight of the dark side. In order to verify the authenticity, he personally went to the observation post and observed it. I also witnessed firsthand the scene of the Japanese being shot in the head. Until now, he still feels a bit dizzy. I can't imagine to what extent that mysterious ghost marksman is accurate. What, a headshot? Did you read correctly? Chu Yunfei's casual expression suddenly changed. Hurriedly asked. Tuanzhua, this situation is despicable. As I have seen with my own eyes, there is indeed a mysterious sharpshooter in the 8th Route Army. Let's go, follow me to the forefront observation post. Captain, this is already the 478th devil. Zhang Dabiao put down his telescope and looked at Li Yunlong next to him with a shocked expression, unable to conceal his excitement, and his face lit up. Kill the devil. Zhang Dabiao never hesitates. The big machete on his back, I don't know how many lives he has harvested from the Japanese. However, compared to the current way of killing ghosts, it is much inferior. The scene of a shot blasting his head and blood splattering on his head made his blood boil, and he couldn't do it on his own. Is this mysterious sharpshooter a deity descending to help them form a new group? Haha. Our new team has sent out this time. Li Yunlong did not conceal his joy and thoughts. He just wants to tell everyone that the sharpshooter he's interested in is Li Yunlong's person, and no one can try to steal him. Don't look at Li Yunlong as a rough guy, but that's just the surface. Actually, his old Li is very cunning. At the same time, he is also a person who loves talent. With such a flawless bullet, he shot and killed over 400 Japanese soldiers alone, all with a single shot. Such a talent, even if Li Yunlong pretends to be a grandson, he will always be caught. At this moment, looking at the Japanese soldiers whose heads were blown out, our old Li's heart was boiling with passion and full of war. Brothers, we have a sharpshooter to protect us. What's there to be afraid of? Charge me and kill these little devils. Kill, kill, kill. It's just a moment. These soldiers, who had been oppressed for a long time and were holding a breath in their stomachs, rushed out of the trenches and charged towards the little devils. And this time, the resistance was much smaller, so much so that the new group of soldiers had a clear and unobstructed journey, driving straight in, with a strong tendency to directly attack the yellow dragon. The reason why such a situation happened is entirely because the little devils also know the existence of the ghost god gunslinger. Although they were holding exquisite firearms one by one, they all retracted their heads and dared not show their heads. So much so that Li Yunlong's troops rushed in front of him before they realized it. Bang! In a seemingly inconspicuous pile of rocks 800 meters away, burst out a tongue of fire. The 48th one. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Someone enters Sakata command post. You are listening at novel full.audio. Lin Feng is like a cheetah, hibernating in a pile of rubble. To the Japanese officers and soldiers, one by one call their names. Especially the Japanese soldiers who hold heavy weapons are the objects he places great emphasis on taking care of. At the beginning, he also needs to aim in order to achieve the effect of hitting with one hit. But later on, he was on the move. Surprisingly, I found the feeling of being a former soldier king. The whole person has entered a state of emptiness and selflessness. In his world, only the enemy who is about to be shot and his gun. Even before the attack. He doesn't even need to deliberately adjust the scope, he just relies on his own feelings to pull the trigger. Moreover, as soon as he pulled the trigger, he instantly replaced the empty magazine. This 98k sniper rifle obtained from the beginner's gift pack is not an ordinary sniper rifle. Equipped with high-precision sniping accuracy, combined with high-precision bullets, and enhanced with intermediate sniping skills. This has enabled Lin Feng's sniping accuracy to reach a very high level. In addition, Lin Feng's strong physical body and precise body balance. So that every time he shoots a shot, he can accurately shoot the enemy's head. But although he was satisfied. However, his reckless killing also allowed the Japanese to quickly find his position. Under the command of Sakata Nobutaka, the Japanese quickly mobilized hundreds of troops and surrounded Lin Feng. The devils actually gave up on blocking Li Yunlong and chose to target Lin Feng instead. Bang bang. Da da da. Countless flames sprayed towards Lin Feng's location. In just an instant, a dense web formed and approached Lin Feng's cover. In Sakata Nobutaka's view, at this moment, Lin Feng poses a much greater threat to his troops than Li Yunlong. If Lin Feng were to shoot recklessly, it is a huge threat to both his troops and himself. So, the cunning Sakata Nobutaka planned to solve Lin Feng first. However, facing the intensive firepower blockade of the Japanese, Lin Feng's lips curved upwards in the darkness, revealing disdain. The reason why ghosts are called ghosts is because he is eerie enough, and irresistible. In fact, at the moment when the devils formed an impression on him, he had already disappeared in front of that pile of rubble. Quickly arrived at the top of the mountain where Sakata Nobutaka was located, 300 meters away. Standing high and condescending. Through the sniper scope, he could clearly see Sakata Nobuyoshi, who was furious at the moment. Draw an arc at the corner of your mouth. The time has come to rewrite history. On the other side, Li Yunlong led the troops and finally made a detour back to a location 500 meters away from the Sakata Joint Command Post. That's it. Here comes the pillar, right here. You just need to use 2 shells as soon as possible to take down Sakata's command post. Li Yunlong said to Wang Chengzhu. Wang Chengzhu remained silent, his expression somewhat solemn. He was worried that if his 2 shells did not kill Sakata, his punishment would be secondary. And the team leader will definitely be punished by the headquarters, so the gains are not worth the losses. After all, the regimental leader defied orders from superiors and broke through from the front. One bad thing is dismissal and investigation. However, if we kill the old Japanese soldier Sakata ourselves, the head of the headquarters will not punish the regimental commander as soon as he is happy. So, Wang Chengzhu decided to fire this shell well. Adjust the height and condition of the mortar barrel. Wang Chengzhu compared with his thumb again. After determining the distance and height, his expression suddenly became solemn. Shell. The assistant next to him saw this and immediately handed over the prepared shells to Wang Chengzhu. Ba ga. Why hasn't the sniper been eliminated yet? In the telescope, Nobuyoshi Sakata witnessed his capable assistant being shot in the head. A surprised expression suddenly appeared on his face. Shoot your head with 1 shot. Center of brow. Sniper, that's definitely a seasoned sniper. While angry, he was also shocked and extremely worried. He had a strong feeling that the sniper was likely coming towards him. A deep sense of crisis arose in his heart. No, I can't stay here anymore, otherwise. Sakata Nobutaka moved his telescope while attempting to locate Lin Feng's location. Thinking in my heart. As a senior soldier, he has a high level of vigilance. So, he plans to evacuate this place and move on. However, at this moment, his movements suddenly froze. On his upper left front, behind a big tree, he suddenly saw a black barrel and aimed it at him. A feeling that made the scalp tingle and the whole body stiff came leisurely. Not good, hurry up. Bang. Just as he was ready to leave with a loud roar, a tongue of fire shot out from the black barrel of the gun. Next up, out of the corner of his eye, he could see his eyebrows, which were covered in bright blood. The sniper really lives up to his reputation. As one thinks so in their heart, they fall into permanent darkness. Team leader. The deputy was bewildered. His expression was ferocious, and his eyes were about to crack. Ba ga. Bang. Next second, he followed in the footsteps of Sakata and was shot in the head. With their deaths, a dark shadow, like a ghost, rushed into the Sakata command post. Get ready. Wait a minute. Wang Chengzhu let out a low shout, he's about to launch. But at this moment, Li Yunlong next to him suddenly shouted loudly and stopped Wang Chengzhu's movements. Li Yunlong looked at the Sakata command center 500 meters away with a shocked expression on his face, and roared with a big grin. Someone has entered Sakata command post. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Kill Sakata and Shockwave Chu Yunfei. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Look, a ghostly black shadow has rushed into Sakata's command post. After stopping Wang Chengzhu, Li Yunlong immediately picked up a telescope and looked towards the Sakata command post. Meanwhile, for some reason, he was somewhat excited. It's not that Sakata died, but that he can finally see the true face of Mount Lu with that ghostly figure. "Captain, why did you come?" The staff officer, who was observing the situation on the opposite side, was immediately taken aback. Hurriedly asked. Under normal circumstances, the team leader should not take risks and come to the forefront. If something unexpected happens, he will be punished. Chu Yunfei didn't speak, but took the telescope and looked towards the high ground of Cangyun Ridge. In the 8th Route Army, there is actually a sharpshooter present. Is it really fake? He wants to see what kind of divinity that is. Just. Bang. I was originally planning to observe it. But just as he picked up the telescope and looked around. Suddenly. In his line of sight. Sakata Nobutaka, who was watching from the command post, suddenly had a burst of blood on his brow. Chu Yunfei was directly stunned. A shot to the head. Do you really have a sharpshooter? How could this be possible? Li Ligong is also similar. His face was filled with shock and disbelief. The equipment of the 8th Route Army is extremely poor. Not only the Imperial Army, but also the National Army, he cannot compare to them. How could it be possible to cultivate sharpshooters in such a military? However, the fact was presented to him, and he couldn't help but not believe it. Bang! Look, that adjutant has also had his head blown out. Chu Yunfei witnessed with his own eyes the scene of Sakata Nobuyoshi and his deputy popping their heads one after another, causing a violent shock to his entire body. A pair of delicate eyes sparkled with brilliant brilliance. There aren't many talents like this. If he joins the 358th Regiment, I am confident that he can form a special agent camp. At that time, my own strength. Slowly standing up, Chu Yunfei exclaimed to himself with emotion. Well, a figure rushed into Sakata's command post. Oh my God, is he a ghost? Fong Ligong was stunned. In his telescope, a ghostly figure, like lightning, climbed over a small mountain and skillfully rushed into the Sakata command post. The whole action is like flowing clouds and water, without dragging mud or water. The impression it gives is that it is a person who has undergone systematic training. Captain, that guy is so amazing. Chu Yunfei was startled and quickly picked up a telescope to look at Sakata command post. The 635th one. After killing Sakata and his deputy, Lin Feng's record had reached 635. The smell of blood and smoke on the battlefield awakened the desire for battle in Lin Feng's blood. It made his blood boil and filled him with explosive power. Everything that once happened seems to have returned to him. Under keen perception. Lin Feng has improved in shooting, speed, skills, running, and more. Although there is still a long way to go compared to the peak period of previous lives, Lin Feng believes. With each war, he will soon regain his former state. Whispering in his mouth. Next second. Lin Feng, like a ghost, rushed into Sakata's command post. Standing in the command post, Lin Feng looked around. Two devils dressed in advanced Japanese commander uniforms lay horizontally on the ground. Eyes bulging, unable to close in death. Carrying an auxiliary official's knife at his waist. In the end, Lin Feng's gaze shifted to the shoulder badge of an officer. 3 Venus, rank of Grand Marshal. It seems that you are Sakata Nobutaka. Without any courtesy, Lin Feng immediately pulled off Sakata's high-ranking official sword from his waist. His deputy's lieutenant officer's sword was also not spared. After finishing these, he searched inside the command post again. Soon, in the corner, a red and golden flag caught his eye. Team flag. This is the military flag specially made by the Emperor of the Empire to inspire the army to expand their territory. And only troops at the level of regiment or above are eligible to possess it. This is the Imperial Army, a symbol of glory. Even if the team leader dies in battle, they cannot be discarded. Otherwise, it would be disrespectful and disloyal to the Emperor. And the reason why Lin Feng risked the danger of being bombarded by Lao Li and broke into the Sakata command post was because of this joint flag. You should know. According to the normal plot, although Li Yunlong broke through the encirclement from the front. But it caused significant casualties and huge losses to the 8th Route Army. So, the head of the headquarters, in order to prevent the emergence of effective defenders in the future. In a fit of rage, Li Yunlong was stripped of his position as the new commander of the regiment. It can be seen that although Li Yunlong has made contributions, he also has mistakes. In the 8th Route Army, achievements are achievements, and mistakes are mistakes. Reward for meritorious service. If there has been a punishment, it will be punished. Only with iron-like discipline can one have an iron army. But at this time, the 8th Route Army was too poor. During the anti-Japanese war, it was too difficult. So, if there is a huge credit in hand, it can also be opened up. I hope this team flag can save Li Yunlong from dismissal punishment. This is Lin Feng's true goal. However, he has no confidence in this. Although the team flag is important, it is still too light. If there are 10 Italian cannons or the Japanese arsenal, then that's another story. Pop. At this moment, a loud bang came from Lin Feng's ear. My shoulders just sink. Under the corner of the eye. He saw a thick palm fall on his shoulder. At the same time, a voice rang out. Haha. Kid, you really have it. Guns and guns explode, it's really stimulating me. Lin Feng turned around. A burly man with thick eyebrows and big eyes, and a bronze skin, caught the eye. Is this the protagonist of Bright Sword, Li Yunlong? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Reward and Arsenal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If he were my soldier Chu Yunfei, that would be great. Slowly lowering his glasses, Chu Yunfei was shocked and flashed in shock. Sniper. This is definitely a seasoned sniper. As a general who graduated from Huanpu Military Academy. He knows much more than Li Yunlong. If mortars are the executioners on the battlefield, then snipers are the invisible assassins on the battlefield. Unpreparable. His 358th Regiment is well equipped, but only lacks such a sharpshooter. If it is included under its umbrella, he, Chu Yunfei, will add wings like a tiger. It's just a pity. Seeing the officers of the 8th Route Army appear in front of the sharpshooter. Chu Yunfei's eyes showed a strong envy and a jealous expression. Captain, there's no shame. The 8th Route Army will eventually be annihilated. When the time comes, you can personally invite him. I believe he won't refuse. At this moment, Fong Ligong slowly lowered his telescope and smiled. Well, you're right. Not to mention, now that Sakata's command system is malfunctioning, this 8th Route Army will definitely work hard and break through from the front. You must closely monitor the movements on the opposite side and not overlook any details. Yes. On the Cangyun Ridge, Sakata command post. Are you Li Yunlong, Captain Li? Lin Feng quickly carried 98k on his back, stood up straight, and asked respectfully. Although he is the soul of a military king, he has his own pride. But as a loyal audience of Liangjian, he has a great fondness for Li Yunlong. This is an iron-blooded general, the future general, worthy of my respect. Not bad, I'm Li Yunlong. Li Yunlong glanced at Lin Feng. Especially his fiery eyes stared at Lin Feng's dark and shiny sniper rifle for a long time. Hahazi almost didn't even come out. My heart feels like a cat's paw. I just want to go up and touch it a few times, to get the hang of it. Li Yunlong is a firearm enthusiast. I am extremely fond of any destructive weapon. Lin Feng's 98k sniper rifle is both novel and full of tremendous killing power. For a general who only focuses on practical effects, a sniper rifle is definitely attractive. Hometown, where did you get this gun from? Unable to wait, Li Yunlong revealed his true face as Mount Lu. A pair of eyes were filled with a strong heat. Lin Feng suddenly felt a bit speechless. Li Yunlong is indeed the living bandit in his mind. To achieve the goal, I don't even want my face. This fellow villager, I am the political commissar of the new youth league, and I also want to thank you for your righteous actions. At this moment, a man wearing glasses quickly crawled out from behind Li Yunlong. He first glanced at Li Yunlong, then extended his palm and shook hands with Lin Feng. Cough and cough, right, my dear Li, I really want to thank my fellow villagers for their help. Li Yunlong was glanced at by the political commissar and suddenly felt a bit impatient. I quickly coughed a few times to cover up my embarrassment. Despite this, his face remained calm, his heart remained calm, and he remained serious. Seeing this, Lin Feng appreciated Li Yunlong even more. I'm just a living bandit, what's wrong? If you don't agree, let's do it. Right temper. The political commissar is polite. As the saying goes, military and civilians are one family. It's up to one's own family to express gratitude or not. Later, Lin Feng faced Li Yunlong and said again. To be honest with Captain Li, I was originally a hunter in the nearby mountains. 3 years ago, I accidentally killed a Japanese sharpshooter and obtained this gun, which honed my skills in sniping. Regarding the origin of the 98k, Lin Feng had already made a statement. At this moment, he spoke confidently, appearing casual and indifferent. You're really lucky, fellow villager. Upon hearing this, Li Yunlong's eyes suddenly lit up. Then, rubbing hands and jokingly saying. How do you feel about the new team, fellow villager? Why don't you join our team? Faced with Li Yunlong's invitation, Lin Feng was overjoyed and decided to agree directly. After all, his goal is to pursue Li Yunlong. Although Li Yunlong's future is an independent team. Although following the development of the previous plot, in the end, Li Yunlong only took away Zhang Dabiao. However, Lin Feng is certain that with his current abilities, he will definitely be on the list taken away by Li Yunlong. However, just as Lin Feng was about to readily agree, the system suddenly activated the sound system. Drip. It has been detected that the host is facing a turning point in their life. Please make the following choices. Option 1, politely decline and reward an Italian cannon. Option 2. Join a new team happily and reward an imperial arsenal. Option 3. Promise to Li Yunlong, but obtain permission to act alone, reward a fully equipped arsenal. When 3 choices appeared in Lin Feng's mind, his heart was moved. He filtered out the first one directly. Although the reward is good, an Italian cannon. But even if you get it yourself, you can't push it. As for the second one, it looks very good on the surface. Joining a new regiment and becoming a soldier for Li Yunlong is exactly what I hope for. From then on, one can showcase their skills and become famous both domestically and internationally in this world of shining swords. Moreover, this reward is extremely generous. A arsenal. For Li Yunlong, he made a lot of money. If he were to be handed over to Li Yunlong, he would believe that Li Yunlong would wake up laughing even when he was sleeping. After all, during this period, the value brought by an arsenal is no different from that of a well-equipped army. Just. From the moment I received the sniper rifle. It is destined to be a ghost. He is a hidden assassin. Once the body of freedom is lost, it is like a snake being pinched 7 inches, with no power to speak of. Compared to this, the third option is particularly important. Obtaining freedom and becoming a shadow assassin around Li Yunlong is a good choice. And, this reward. A fully equipped arsenal. Isn't this exactly what the 8th Route Army lacks at the current stage? Can Li Yunlong still be dismissed with him? If he hasn't been fired, then the plot of this sword shining worth looking forward to. Captain Li, I am very willing to join the new team. But I need to ask the captain to give me a special order. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. This brother can handle things. If something happens, he really cares. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Captain Li, I am very willing to join the new team. Captain Li's army is capable of fighting tough battles, and I, Lin Feng, am very willing to join such a force if I dare to fight tough battles. However, as you can see, Captain, my combat style is different from yours and also from the entire unit, emphasizing individual combat capabilities. So, I would like to request your special approval to allow me to act alone. Of course, this requires a combat order, please agree with the commander. Lin Feng's words fell and everyone else was stunned on the spot. This guy is quite dragging. How dare you propose conditions to the team leader? With the temper of our team leader, we can't just curse without opening our mouths. Haha. I thought it was a condition, isn't it just acting alone? I agreed. But what surprised everyone was that Li Yunlong hugged Lin Feng's neck, affectionately like two brothers. Immediately burst out of my voice and announced. I command that in the future, once there is a combat mission, Lin Feng can move freely without being in the sequence. How about it, Lin Feng? Is it interesting for me, Captain? Moreover, in the future, you will be directly under my leadership, Li Yunlong. As for your position, let's become my guard first. Thank you very much, Captain. Warrior Lin Feng reports. Salute. Pop. Without any hesitation, Lin Feng stood at attention and paid an extremely standard military salute. Everyone was stunned by the sight. Is he really an ordinary person? Why is this military salute even more standard than what I respect? Moreover, the aura on his body at this moment, everyone sensed the surging blood breath on Lin Feng's body. Undoubtedly from a hunter's background, this killing aura is extraordinary. Li Yunlong exclaimed in admiration. Captain, we're getting rich. Just then, a battalion commander, Zhang Dabiao, rushed in. He first nodded friendly at Lin Feng, and then said to Li Yunlong with a face of ecstasy. Captain, we roughly cleaned the battlefield and seized a total of 30 mortars, 60 light machine guns, 10 heavy machine guns, and 3 heavy guns. Not to mention over 1,000 excellent rifles and countless pills. Captain, we have posted it. Since following Li Yunlong, Zhang Dabiao has never received such a generous trophy. The whole person's mouth was crooked with a smile. What? Li Yunlong widened his eyes and couldn't help but take a cold breath. You should know. Although he has made the new regiment roar and its combat effectiveness is fierce, ordinary teams cannot keep up. However, the guns in the soldiers' hands are usually old sleeves, made in Hanyang, and even the rifling has been worn out. Even if it's a mortar, there's only one left, and there are only 2 shells left. There are only 2 light machine guns, which are also outdated items. As for heavy machine guns, there are none at all. As for heavy artillery, there are none at all. Hair, grandmas, almost knocked out my old Li. Take it away, take it all away. Li Yunlong let out a loud roar, dominating his airway. Even planning to personally take these weapons. Seeing this situation, Zhang Dabiao agreed with both hands and feet raised. However, the political commissar of the new group promptly prevented Li Yunlong's irrational decision. Lao Li, you need to calm down. Our current manpower is less than 500 people, and there are still a few and a half with injuries. What's even more serious is, can people carry cannons while we're in the mountains? Moreover, although we have defeated Sakata's command post now, this is only half of the entire Sakata squadron strength, and there are still half of the Japanese waiting for us on the periphery. So, we can only choose light weapons to carry now, let's throw away everything else. The political commissar is earnestly persuading. Oh, I don't know this truth, but I can't bear to part with it, old Li. That's our meal thing. When did my old Li get these many good things? Li Yunlong is so heartbroken. We will have things like Lao Li in the future, and the top priority now is to break through. The political commissar immediately shifted the topic when he saw the reluctance on Li Yunlong's face. Captain, I suggest that we replace all our rifles with new ones, and let Wang Chengzhu choose 10 skilled players to bring with them mortars. As for heavy machine guns, you can also bring them with you. And, when we break through later, I can cover for the large army to break through. At this moment, Lin Feng, who had been silent all along, suddenly spoke up. As soon as this statement was made, Li Yunlong and the political commissar's eyes lit up. That's a great idea. This brother can handle it. If there's something, he really cares. Li Yunlong chuckled and praised Lin Feng. Immediately after, his face darkened and he said, Zhang Dabiao, gather your troops and bring me everything except for the particularly heavy weapons to blow up. Still us. Hey, where are people? Li Yunlong issued several orders in succession, and then turned around satisfied, ready to call on Lin Feng to break through together. By the way, he asked how Lin Feng covered the team's breakout. However, when he turned back, surprisingly, he just stayed in place. Because Lin Feng is actually missing. Damn it, you really have a trick of hiding from me. And the political commissar standing next to Li Yunlong is also doing the same at this moment. A completely unbelievable expression appeared. Even, the back feels cold and the scalp feels numb. Ghost. Li Yunlong led the team to break through towards the outside. While walking, pay attention to the potential crisis that may arise at any time. However, along the way, what was heard and seen once again shook political commissar Li Yunlong and Zhang Dabiao. Because any devils that appear in their sight have already turned dead. And, without exception, it's all a headshot. Hissed, the sound of gasping for breath echoed one after another in the queue. Previously, I only saw that shocking scene in a telescope, but now, I have witnessed it with my own eyes. There is such a miraculous marksmanship in this world, it's truly unbelievable. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Complete annihilation of Sakata Squadron, from the CEO. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Captain, the Sakata Squadron has set up 4 blockade lines at Cangyun Ridge. I will lead the way and deal with the Japanese heavy machine guns and gunners. The rest will be left to the captain and everyone else. Just as everyone was shocked in their hearts and their faces showed a look of terror. A calm voice rang in Li Yunlong's ear. Immediately after, he saw a black figure flickering away from the left mountain ridge. Li Yunlong's eyes suddenly froze. With such a skilled marksman to escort him, he's worried about nothing. That's it. He killed Captain Sakata, Colonel Sakata Nobutaka, Lieutenant Colonel, and countless others in his new regiment. Although none of these were killed by Li Yunlong and the new soldiers. But at this moment, isn't Lin Feng also a soldier of the new regiment? Since it is his soldier, it is the glory of the entire army. Even obtained a team flag representing the dignity of the emperor. Greatly sweeping away the dignity of the Japanese army. Plus the weapons and equipment obtained through payment. And the almost zero lost troops during this breakout. Li Yunlong believes that the head of the headquarters, don't try to masturbate him. Don't try to hold him accountable. He did not suffer any casualties or losses, but instead gained a lot. Why should the head of the headquarters hold him accountable? Isn't it just that you didn't break through as ordered? Is breaking through they're not breaking through? I can't even dismiss my position as a team leader. However, the biggest gain of this battle was not the elimination of Sakata, but the capture of Lin Feng, the sharpshooter. Lin Feng is a treasure, he doesn't even exchange troops for a regiment. I feel happy in my heart. Immediately shouted in a low voice. Attention everyone, keep your eyes open, don't let go of any enemy, and don't make meaningless sacrifices. Try to eliminate Sakata United as much as possible. Today, I want the name Sakata to disappear from the land of China. Yes. He deserves to be a sniper, his killing power. At the forefront observation post of the Jin Sui army, Chu Yunfei did not leave, but closely watched the battle on the Cangyun Ridge. At this moment, in the telescope, he saw a ghostly figure wandering along the enemy's blockade line. Those Japanese machine gunners, officers, gunners, any Japanese who can cause casualties or potential threats to the 8th route breakout will be named one by one. Unconsciously, a smooth and unobstructed breakthrough route was cleared for the 8th route army. With the help of this sharpshooter, the casualties of this 8 paths will definitely be minimized. Slowly straightened up, Chu Yunfei's face was filled with envy and emotion. However, this also confirmed a certain decision in his heart. Stubborn. Amidst the rain of gunfire and bullets, the new regiment of the 8th Route Army finally successfully broke through the encirclement of the Japanese. At the same time, it also wiped out the other half of the Sakata unit's troops. At this point, the entire dangerous army of Sakata United stationed in northwest Shaanxi was finally exhausted. The headquarters of the 8th Route Army. Pop. The CEO slammed the table heavily, appearing extremely angry. Boss, what's wrong with you? The chief of staff was puzzled and said. Damn it, that bastardly Yunlong is so lawless. How dare you disobey my orders and not retreat according to the predetermined route? Instead, you forcefully broke through from the front, causing heavy casualties. The CEO is very angry. I almost lifted the table. If Li Yunlong were to do this again, a heavy beating and scolding would be inevitable. Dismissal, such a person is not worthy of being a team leader. The chief of staff smiled slightly when he saw this. Is the CEO willing? Get away from me as soon as possible, the ground is annoying. Soldiers regard obedience to orders as their duty, but Li Yunlong openly resists orders. If this continues, how can it be? This time I must treat him. The CEO is still very angry. However, this Li Yunlong is also a skilled fighter. Every time he confronts the Japanese, he always comes up with new ideas. He always finds the most appropriate way to confront the enemy, achieving the best results with the least cost. So, should the CEO consider it carefully? Actually, I also know that Li Yunlong has many clever ideas for war, and I like to use this kind of cadre the most. However, disobedience is disobedience, and this kind of habit cannot be tolerated. So. Report, just received a telegram. Li Yunlong's new regiment successfully broke through from the front and defeated the captain of the Sakata League. During the breakout, they successively eliminated the active forces of the Sakata League. Li Yunlong's regiment annihilated the entire Sakata League. At this moment, soldiers came to report. But this soldier walked in with a shocked expression on his face. It's unbelievable that a regiment killed the captain of Sakata United and destroyed Sakata United. Even, unbelievable. If it weren't for his unwavering belief in the telegram from the 386th Brigade, he would have doubted whether it was false intelligence. This is unprecedented in the history of the 8th Army. It can be recorded in history now. It's simply unbelievable. What? Li Yunlong's new regiment killed the captain of the Sakata League, defeated and eliminated the Sakata League. The angry CEO suddenly widened his eyes and looked incredulous. Immediately burst into hearty laughter. Good guy, what a fierce general. I knew that kid Li Yunlong, who is a monkey trader, wouldn't break through from the front without complete certainty. You did a great job, you really showed me the divine power of the 8th Army. Since the anti-Japanese war, countless units of the army have suffered losses at Sakata's hands. You should know. That is the elite unit known as the Japanese, a unit highly valued by Yoshino Shinosuke. It is a team with brilliant achievements. But that's how the impressive team was defeated by Li Yunlong. Li Yunlong can be considered as avenging Snow hate for their 8th Army. The CEO excitedly patted the table, unable to conceal his excitement. Boss, just now, the new regiment broke through and not long after, several Japanese troops near Cangyun Ridge quickly increased their numbers and have already entered Cangyun Ridge. That is to say, if Li Yunlong is one step late, there is a risk of the entire army being annihilated. The CEO took a cold breath and felt extremely scared in his heart. Did Li Yunlong smell the danger and know that breaking through from the front is the only way out for the new regiment? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.